Welcome to this video in the Getting Ready for First Steps video series. My name is Tanya, and I'm a pediatric physiotherapist with Alberta Health Services. In this video, you'll learn about what you'll see as your child starts pulling themselves up to stand at furniture. Some children may learn this skill with very little help, and some children may need to practice more. In this video, we'll talk about some different ideas of ways to help your child practice this skill. Your child might like some of these ideas and not like others, and that's okay. Try them and see which ones work best for you. Most children begin pulling up to stand at 7 to 12 months old. Pulling up to kneel, pulling up to stand, and standing with support helps your child develop strength in their legs and core muscles. Many children need support in standing until they're about a year old, although some children start standing on their own for a few seconds at a time earlier than this. What can you do to help your child learn to pull themselves up to stand? Children often start to pull themselves up to a kneeling position using a person sitting beside them on the floor to hold on to. Then they start to pull themselves up to stand using furniture or you to hold on to. They often don't learn to stand up from sitting without holding on to anything until after they're already taking steps on their own. If your child is not pulling up to stand on their own, you can encourage them to practice. Help them to crawl over and kneel at a low object, such as a couch cushion on the floor. This gets them moving into a kneeling position, which is usually the first step for learning to pull up to stand. If your child is not crawling yet, you can help them learn to move from sitting beside the cushion to kneeling at the cushion by placing interesting toys just out of reach on the cushion. Some children may start pulling to stand using mostly their arms and going up on both legs at once. As they get stronger, they'll start to move from sitting or kneeling into a half kneeling position with one knee up. From half kneeling, they can more easily pull into standing. Your child can practice standing up from the floor. They can also try standing up from your lap or from a small chair. Let's look at how to help your child practice this in more detail. Let's start with practicing standing up from the floor. If your child is struggling to get into this half kneeling position, help them lift one knee up and place their foot flat on the floor in front of them. Your child may always lift the same leg first. Give your child the chance to practice this skill, starting with the other leg lifting up first as well. We want your child to be able to stand up using both their right and their left legs to lead the way. Use toys in front of them to help them want to lean forward to move into standing. Let's watch this video to see how to help your child practice this skill. This mom is using toys to motivate her child to lean forward and helping her get ready by positioning her right knee up, but still letting her child do most of the work of standing up rather than just lifting her into standing. Another way to help your child move from sitting to standing starts with you sitting on the floor with your child sitting in your lap. Sit facing the couch with a toy on it. Make sure their feet are flat on the ground and a little bit behind their knees. Your child needs to lean forward to be able to stand up. Then you can help them move their hips forward. This helps them stand up while they reach toward the couch. To help your child learn how to lower themselves back down to the floor instead of falling down, you can use the same position. While your child is playing and standing at the couch, help them sit down on your lap, guiding their hips backward. This way they know your legs are close behind them and they don't have to go all the way down to the floor. Now let's watch this video to see how you can help your child to practice this skill. This mom uses toys in front of her child to help encourage her to lean forward. Then she gives her just enough help to be able to stand, but still lets her do most of the work. Once your child is able to pull themselves up to stand, here are some ways that you can practice standing skills with them. If your child is standing on their toes often when they start standing, think about making the surface that they're standing at lower to encourage them to stand with their feet flat on the ground. If they're standing at a couch, try taking the cushion off to make the surface lower. When children are first learning how to stand, they sometimes start going up on their toes, but they should also be able to go down to their feet flat on the ground. Now you can give them an extra challenge by getting them to turn their head and body to reach behind them. Put toys where they need to reach further to the sides to get to them, or hold an interesting toy behind them. Encourage them to reach further by bringing the toy close to them and then slowly moving it away so that they have to reach for it, rather than starting with the toy far away. When children get more comfortable standing, they'll often start to play with different types of movement. You may see them start to bend their knees and bounce up and down a bit. This is a good time to help your child learn to reach down for toys and squat down from standing. You can start with toys held at knee height or on a small stool or box beside them, and then progress to placing toys on the floor. As they get stronger, they'll start to bend their knees to reach further and then stand up again. Here are some different games and activities you can try to encourage your child to increase the time they're spending playing and standing. You don't need to buy specific toys for working on standing. Just think about using things you already have. Once your child is comfortable standing at furniture, it's time to get moving. This concludes our video about standing with support. Watch the video on cruising to learn how to help your child continue to build their skills.
Find information, support, and services for you and your child by clicking on the link in the description.